Anything else?
Not much, man. Pretty chill weekend, I'm ready for summer though. Springtime is here. Been going to the gym. Got to get back in it. Stay on that. Springtime is here. Got a lot of things going this summer.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, you did. Yeah. Well, you be telling these women, you got to. They were like, "Now, doctor, you better get in that gym." They like,
Got to get in that gym. Got to stay consistent with it.
That's what it's about.
Got to keep the muscles toned and the bones working. Got to keep everything working.
Yeah, that's definitely what it's about. And not only that, change of weather. Absolutely about your diet and just being healthy.
Right.
Puts you in a great mindset when
Absolutely.
you're hitting it. And that doesn't necessarily always have to be in the gym. It could be just walking,
Yeah,
get your
walk,
steps
get
up.
your cardio up, tone those frequently used muscles around the knees, the back muscles. Uh, keep them toned.
Yeah. Keith said, "Can I get a cut?" Keith, of course. I never say no to money.
He's bald.
Oh, is he ball? Damn, Keith, you had me excited. Yeah, that was about it. A lot going on though. A lot of good stuff. Um, we got the producer over there, Nick Jones, in the building.
What's up? What's up?
How was your weekend, man?
I'm trying to remember what I even did.
You ain't on mic.
I know, right? I don't even. My weekend was it was breezy. I didn't do anything really. I studied. That's what I did. I studied. I was studying and coding all week.
Yeah.
Weekend.
And shout out to Dom, man. Dom actually invited us to the comedy. So thank you, Dom, for that invitation. I wasn't able to get there.
Yeah, man. We
At
appreciate
that time,
it.
I already had the fight
Yep.
people come over to watch the fight and whatnot. And but shout out to Dom and the banana. Man, he's the king, man. He's killing it. Did you get that last pudding you brought?
I don't do bananas.
At all?
Do bananas.
He'll make a believer out you.
Not me.
No?
I don't like pudding either.
Not bananas.
Dang. You should have left it. I would have took that.
Oh, I gave it to somebody.
Shoot, my son be tearing his pudding up.
Cobblers. Let's talk some cobblers.
Yeah, peach cobbler.
Diversify it.
Yeah.
Man, but no. See, I'm different.
Some strawberries.
That's nasty too.
Man, come on.
When you're the banana king, you just keep what you're doing. He's the banana pudding king. You're
I was
dumb.
about to say Paul.
Yeah.
Banana king.
Come on. Tell him.
Oh man.
So, man, we got a Doc. What was the first topic? Doc, you had them.
Oh well, you got your intro first.
Uncle.
The Fox News thing.
Oh yeah, the Fox News, man. There was a lot going on.
Let me share this screen real quick.
Why are you even watching Fox News?
I just said I was watching it. What?
You're up on Fox News.
You've been posting about it like
I watch news.
crazy.
Fox News.
I watch everything. You got to know everything going on. I like to know.
That's fake news. It's
So
Fox News is
Not every-
biased.
No, well.
So I'm gonna just read this like first paragraph or so, and then
This
you can
was-
take us into
yeah.
what this is all
Okay,
about.
go
I
ahead.
don't
'Cause this
know
is
what the
important now.
heck- I don't know what's going on.
And you tell me why it's important when
I was gonna
Read it.
How,
Okay.
How's this gonna affect us? So Fox News and its parent company Fox Corporation have struck a deal averting a trial in the blockbuster defamation suit filed by the election tech company Dominion Voting Systems over spurious claims of fraud in the 2020 presidential race. I already see where you're going with this now.
Thank you.
Judge Eric Davis of the Delaware Superior Court announced the settlement from the bench on Tuesday afternoon ahead of the trial scheduled start. That's a lot of money.
Exactly.
That's a lot of money.
And now,
wow, 787 million.
Yes.
787 million, 500,000. About half of Dominion's original 1.6 billion ask.
so you guys didn't read this.
No, I don't pay attention to Fox. I really don't give a damn about what they be talking about.
Well,
Fox is biased.
Okay.
I mean, it's fake news.
They've been
But
called
what it
out
does-
on that too,
Yeah.
plenty of
but
times.
they've been called out. But when it starts hitting you in the pocketbook, guys, this was kind of a good thing,
Well,
is
tell me-
because it could change possibly the way they do news or report some of the news that they're reporting.
Well, they're kind of already doing that with YouTube and the,
Yeah, but now
not
it
subsidiaries,
led
but
to
smaller mid-range platforms.
it led
Right.
to the dismissal of somebody like a Tucker Carlson, who's
Good.
one of the people that should have been
out of
gone
there
a long time ago.
Yeah.
But again, when it starts hitting pocketbooks, that's when change does happen on some of these things.
Well, yeah, there's always going to be a fall guy, but when you escalate this up to who's writing the checks at Fox News,
Mhm.
nothing's going to change at that level. Yeah, there's going to be a fall guy. People are going to
How
go.
you don't think
to-
nothing's going to change when we already seeing some change happening though?
Yeah,
When you lose $700 and some million dollars,
What's popping, KB?
and they've already talked about a reduction in their employee base of about 30% that's going to be happening, there's a shakeup going on. And I think all news media outlets need to be shooken up and more independents need to come on the scene. But just to be dismissal because we find them or dismissive, excuse me, because we kind of biased, you got to know what's happening. You got to know what people are reporting on.
Vice is all right. I don't know about them being like reputable news outlet.
And Kenneth, I agree. I watch all the news outlets. Yeah, actually, they all spill knowledge and bull. Absolutely. Not every single thing on Fox is going to be biased, though. And now that they have the highest rated, so people are watching.
Right, because they decide what's newsworthy based on their fan base. Who's going to watch? They want to report what they think people want to see, what they want to hear. They want to put stuff out there that's controversial, not necessarily positive or motivational, but controversial. They want to dig into the dirt, get into the weeds, and report not always factual information, but it increases ratings.
Absolutely, for them. But accountability, I think, is so important. And now, with this lawsuit or settlement or judgment, excuse me, I think this is a big deal, and it's going to affect, I think, all the news media. And some people said it had the adverse effect with CNN with Don Lemon.
So what were they fined for? What was the one? The 787?
Lying.
Okay. So you think lying is going to change in the media?
I think accountability, you have to be accountable, or you should be accountable. And I think it's going to have an effect. Now, I don't know what type of effect, but it's going to have an effect. It's going to have an effect. $700 million, I don't care what that $700 million is still a lot of money. And just to be like, well, it does not going to do anything. I just think that no, it's going to do something.
To a broadcast giant like Fox, it's not going to hurt them for longer than a month. They'll take a little hit and they'll keep on going. They'll keep doing the same thing, as long as the rich, corrupt Republicans are promoting their agenda.
I think they're both parties are corrupt, though.
I would agree on that.
Politics in general is corrupt.
Both parties are.
Yeah, it's all about
I'm not
lying.
going to sit here and be like
when I said I agree on that, I'm talking about the comment, not what they're talking about. I don't pay attention to none of that shit.
What's the comment? Let's hear
it. Yeah, but Vice is usually geared towards millennials and Gen Z folks.
And look at who owns Vice.
And they covered things not normally covered in the news. So, yeah.
Look up who owns Vice.
Well, I already said earlier in the in the discussion that I don't really look to them for any type of reputable news at all. They're more so like a documentary type, guerrilla style, on the ground investigative report type situation. But yeah, anyways.
The thing about it, I think when it comes to news, people are always going to look at what they find aligns with usually their views. That's just what it usually is.
And so what would you say the overall views of Fox News is?
It's mostly a conservative fan base.
Okay.
What would you say CNN?
CNN is a little more factual and non-biased than Fox News, I would say. It's a more reputable source of information to me.
Because it probably aligns with what your views are, right?
No, it doesn't align because they share an array of topics and it's factual information regardless of who likes it or who doesn't like it.
It's a little more factual, possibly.
Yeah.
Yes, I think all news has a ways to go, but we all as a society or as people should be holding news accountable.
Right.
You shouldn't be able to just put false statements as facts out there over the mainstream.
Right.
But then it's gone too far. It's gone way over.
And then that segues right into the Don Lemon thing.
Leah, I absolutely agree with her. She says CNN is also very biased. Yes, it's biased.
What did Don Lemon get fired for?
Somebody said Lemon was knocking the lining out of his co-anchors.
Well,
and then somebody else said,
I think the final straw was when he wasn't listening to his producers on that last interview.
Kenneth said that it was him. He heard it was about some harassment and bullying of one of his colleagues.
But then it all stems from the comment he made about, I don't remember her name, some politician that's in her 40s that they say she's in her prime. And he said,
he said she's past her prime.
He said, yeah, that she was saying is in her prime. And he said she's past her prime.
George, I totally agree with you. I didn't trust either one of them. I'm glad they got fired. Good riddance. I think something to be said that it needs to change is good.
And I think a news reporter, if you're sitting there, if you're what do they call them, newscaster? What is their position? What is it officially called when you're
news anchors?
News anchor. When you're a news anchor, you sit there, you read the teleprompter. You don't interject your personal opinions. You are there to report the news.
Well, it depends on what you're saying. What type of journalists are they?
That's what I'm saying.
Is it opinionated? I mean, so you can say it because back in the day they used to be like that.
Right. If you're a news anchor, you report. Nobody cares what you think. You're sitting there to look good. People look at you because they find you easy to look at and you enunciate properly. So report the news. But the problem is
why you have settlements. Yes. Maybe we can get back to
but that doesn't come from the news anchor. That comes from the person who's writing the news. They're just reading a teleprompter, or they should be. So if what they're reporting that people don't like, they all get the news from it comes up on I can't remember. God, it escapes me. It's one central news source that they all report on. They just change the language.
I don't know. It's because this is I think the personalities become so big that people look at whether or not they like the personalities. Personalities play a big part in what people watch too, though. I know my mom used to love her some Don Lemon. I'm like, okay, but doesn't mean that he's not opinionated or biased. He had an agenda.
Right. But you keep your agenda to a certain news show.
Someone said Associated Press.
Yeah, Associated Press. That's it. It all comes from the AP.
Or NPR.
Yeah. Not NPR, but NPR gets their news from Associated Press.
They get some of they don't get all their news.
Well, everything that comes down that's newsworthy comes through AP.
Yeah.
So who's writing that? Who's creating news? AP says what goes out there, what gets reported. Read that comment.
Kenneth says, yeah, Lemon was trying to use his sexuality to push his diva moves at CNN, excuse me. That backfired when you go against white women.
Yeah, I mean
that part.
It played a part. I mean, obviously they said that the way he was speaking, his co-host.
And he interjected his own opinions, and people didn't care for it. Would you say a woman in her 40s is past her prime?
I don't. What are we talking about? I don't know. It depends on what are we.
Would you say a woman? Would you say a woman in her 40s is past the prime of her life?
National television. Not on national television.
Why would you even think that'd be all right to say?
I'm not saying on national television. I'm asking you your thoughts.
I'm telling you, I wouldn't say that.
I told you not on national television. And then it depends.
But in politics,
your opinion.
And then are we?
There's a woman in her 40s.
Are we talking? What are we talking about?
I'm asking a question.
I'm not just going to come out and say you're over 40s.
If we're talking about politics, there's no such to me. There's no such thing.
I'm not just going to come out.
I'm talking about life. Is a woman in her 40s past her prime?
I don't think so. I don't.
No, absolutely not. So his comments were out of line. Women are bearing children in their 40s. They're hitting their peak. They're hitting their highlight in life of what they want. They're maxing out their intelligence in their 40s, sometimes into their 50s. So you can't say a woman is past her prime in her mid 40s.
I just thought it was a dumb comment, especially when we're talking.
It was a dumb comment.
He was talking about politics. He's talking about in terms of running and those type of things. But no, that's
It's
not
his
Pastor
opinion,
Prime.
and there's a time and place for everything.
Yeah.
That's what I'm taking.
And
from this.
it was a wrong thing to
He's
say.
entitled to his opinion, but there's a time and place for everything.
Right.
I wouldn't have said that shit.
But
on
how you gonna
national
say a
television.
woman is past her prime?
It's his opinion.
And and he shouldn't have been interjecting his opinion into
That's all
something
I'm
that
saying.
should have been
He-
newsworthy. I mean,
But
because
he's
if
a
you
personality, and
Right.
That's what personality. That's the problem. I think also with having
And he's known for
diva
talking.
like personality.
He's known for talking spicy anyway.
That's what his show is.
He's
His
known
show
for
is-
doing shit like
his-
that.
right.
His show is based around heated.
It just didn't work out in his favor this time.
No,
Well, he should keep it balanced because look at Sleepy Joe. His old ass is 80 years old and running for re-election, the oldest president we've ever had. Is that the sharpest person
The American people vote
that
for
we
him.
can do? Is that the sharp? We want a sharp, intelligent,
Somebody who's awake.
awake. That part running this country.
I don't.
Does Sleepy Joe represent America
I don't know. I
as
again,
a pillar
we gotta
of
talk,
strength and intelligence?
we got to talk about policies, man. I can care damn whether or not somebody.
Well,
looks
why
strong
didn't
or
Don
not.
Lemon say Sleepy Joe's past his prime, way past his fucking prime? Sit your ass down somewhere and enjoy your family for the rest of the years that you have. And you're talking about running for re-election at 80?
Listen, I don't look at it as an age thing. I look at what policies that you can.
He almost on his way out.
Right. One bathtub slip and it's over.
Right.
And we
Yeah,
got
but
a black female president.
Well, I mean, again,
Oh, you slipped
we're
into
talking about the wrong. I think
something
we're
else now.
exactly. And
Which
again,
may be
we're
something that
talking
we
about
need.
the wrong thing. We've got to be talking about policies and what policies can do. Not
You
whether or not
think
somebody's
he's setting
age.
policies?
I can give a damn whether or not if he's 90.
Policies that can be carried out full term by
That's
the damn
not
president.
how the
Well,
policies
why,
are
well,
ran,
why are
bro.
you talking about policies if we're talking about
Because
what
you're talking about
policies-
age, like so what? I don't give a damn whether or not you get 100. Can you run? What policies are you helping to change in my community? That's what I give a damn about. Why I give
Is
a
he
damn about
changing policies?
I'm saying overall, what policies? We're talking about age. You talking age? I'm like, well, I don't care what the
But
policies
can't
are.
they be changed or switched around?
You can
If
be
he fucks
40.
around
We
and
see
dies or
40-year-olds
something like
that
Can't
they're
that-
40.
can't
Should
that
they be
happen?
able to run the country better?
Can't that happen? If something was happening to him, can't somebody else just come in and go, we're not doing this anymore. These are the policies we're running with now. I'm stupid, so somebody educate me.
As far as
Can't
who?
just for example, if he gets reelected, he's 80 years old, he has the best policy spoken. Let's just entertain what Barry
You think
saying.
those policies
No,
come
no,
from
no,
him?
I'm just saying an example's sake. For example's sake. This isn't real, just example's sake.
Okay.
So if he has the best policy spoken and he's 80 years old, he gets reelected, fucks around and dies. Can somebody come in and his step in and like
Nick, are you talking about the vice president?
I'm talking about the policies. Can somebody come in and just reconfigure the policies?
That would be the
That's-
vice president.
that's
Right.
vice
Can they
president, though.
all right. So what if that happens and now your policies that you voted for are no longer in action?
They're usually are somewhat aligned
That's what
with
I'm
each
getting
other,
at.
though. That's the reason why they're on
Right.
the same ticket.
Yeah, they have the same agenda.
Now it might be different on how they
I'm about to
go
say,
about it, but usually, yeah, it's usually very similar.
But the president is just a figurehead. His administration is the one that makes these policies and comes up with things. He just
That's all it
says
is, man.
maybe we should run with it. Because a smart president will hire an entire cabinet that's more intelligent than himself.
And that's why I said age to me is not necessarily a primary when I'm looking at that.
But you have to be able to make sound decisions quickly. You have to be woke.
Boom.
What all? Okay, let me ask you then, since you said that.
We got
what
whole
all-
other topics too, y'all.
What all
We got to
can
put a bow
a
on it.
president? What power does the president have?
Not very much.
Okay, so saying what you just said, if he doesn't have as much as what you're saying,
Right.
again, should have. That's why I said, does age necessarily matter when it comes to that?
He
Or-
does have some decision-making power,
Which
but
one?
he is 1/3 of the lawmaking government. He's just
Okay.
1/3.
So that's why I keep asking. So if that's the case,
Yo, I agree with that.
What?
Somebody said, I'm ready for millennials to rule because too many of the boomers are out of touch with the current geopolitics. Yeah, man.
they got to go vote. Though.
Yeah.
They don't vote.
They're out of touch with a lot of shit. But in that too, to Barry's point,
They don't
get out
vote.
there and vote.
Get them to go vote.
Right. And also too
Can't get
many
mad at-
too many of the millennials are not in touch with history and the
Oh.
things that formed this country and what you need to reflect on when making decisions for our future.
Someone said, B, what policies is an 80-year-old man doing for my young black ass?
It's not him that's making the
Again,
policies.
That's why I don't answer it.
It's his cabinet. He has to be of sound mind and body in order to employ an intelligent cabinet to come up with sound policies that are going to be beneficial to the country. And if he's not intimidated, if he's a good leader, he will hire people that are smarter than himself.
That's a part of it.
All right.
But
let's hope he's awake he was awake when he did that.
Yeah.
Right. And he's listening to him, and he's not sleeping at the table. And he's not saying, well, what did you say? You know?
All right, y'all. That was interesting. Y'all can go all day with that. Y'all should do a pop-up. Putting a bow on that, we're going to go into the actual topics. Topic number one, we're going to dig into some sports here. Should social justice be intertwined in sports? Barry, this is another topic that you brought to the forefront, so I'm going to go ahead and bring it
Phil
up.
Jackson had made a comment.
Yeah.
That he stopped watching the NBA due to social politics that are Black Lives Matter slogan and other.
I'll read his quote here. They had things on their back like justice, and a funny thing happened, like justice just went to the basket and equal opportunity knocked him down. Jackson said, some of my grandkids thought it was pretty funny to play up those names. I couldn't watch that. This is one of the quotes from the story here. But what's going on with this? Take us through it.
And Bill Jackson's said a few other questionable things. This was now, if anything, this was out of touch. It was out of touch because, to me, when you look at like the NBA, which is about 85% Black.
Yeah.
Oh, here's the quote I should have read. But
well, read the quote.
He says, Jackson, 77, appears to believe this messaging, the messaging that they were putting out at the time, did more harm than good because it made the league too political. He says, quote, it was trying to cater to an audience or trying to bring a certain audience to the game, and they didn't know it was turning other people off. People want to see sports as non-political. Politics stays out of the game and doesn't need to be there. So that's where he was at with it.
Social politics is always going to be part of the game.
I don't see it as political.
Not at
I
all.
see it as social justice, equal human rights, and then bringing awareness for
you win a championship on the backs of Black players. And then you're going to talk about they should ask or demand justice or equality. That's insane. But to some of your points, Bill Jackson's older, out of touch.
Right. He is older and out of touch. And
if he doesn't understand the impact that, just Black
sounds like he doesn't understand the social
league.
climate of what's going on today.
Absolutely.
That's what I'm taking from this.
He's totally out of touch. And the NBA, the NFL, Major League Soccer, they're all wearing these on their jerseys, and it's on their stadiums because it's a huge medium that people are watching, that people need awareness on these issues. Human rights, women's rights, equality, Black Lives Matter.
I hope nobody, Kenneth.
and these things need to be out there. And that's an excellent medium to get these things out there into society.
And some people say, oh, well, it should be out. Well, it's not going to be. it's a part of it. Especially when a league that is 85% Black, it should be a part of it. Sports has a way of, to me, bringing people together.
Absolutely.
If anything, it brings people together.
Yeah.
And it makes people aware
right.
of some of the injustice from the Olympics. I mean, to boxing, you have Muhammad Ali. Like, these sports figures have been instrumental in helping bring about the change in this country.
Exactly.
So to say it was too political, no, no.
It just helps people bring togetherness. It helps unity and human rights, because when you go to a Seahawks game, when you go to a Lakers game, you're not looking at black and white. We're Seahawks fans, or you're Lakers fans, or you're Raiders fans. It doesn't matter what color you are. You all come together, and it's just putting it out there that, yes, be aware, stay woke of what's happening to this brother that you high-fiving with in the stands. You're white, he's black. You guys have different sets of circumstances. He's going through different things in life
that you
than
don't
you
understand.
are, that you don't know, that you will never understand. So we're trying to bring awareness to that. Stay woke.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I just thought the comment. But I mean, you know, if that's his truth, he has a right to his opinion. No, at the end of the day, that's how he feels. I think is disappointing.
Yeah, it is disappointing.
Especially, you know, those championships were on the backs of some of the greatest players that are brothers.
Yeah.
You know, and you won those, and you know, to basically just be like, So
and the thing is, but he didn't have a problem with
some of these comments after you're done.
Okay, he didn't have a problem with people wearing these labels and these brands and getting these huge endorsements for wearing things like that. They're not getting paid to put Black Lives Matter on their jersey and NFL on the back of their helmet. They're not getting paid for that, but they're putting a message out there.
And my question is, what's too much? Because it didn't seem like it was just, I seen it in, on mid-court or slogan maybe around it, or barely a little bit of a mention. It wasn't like they were stopping and doing these 15-minute presentations, or to me it was very brief, if anything. So
right, but then look at the stadiums. All the stadiums have big brand names on them. It's not Cowboy Stadium, Raider Stadium, Seahawks Stadium. It's insurance companies and cryptocurrency companies, and whoever has the biggest amount of money that can put their name on that stadium to promote their brand and their agenda. Why don't we have a problem with that?
I agree.
These comments.
Oh, okay.
So age matters for Phil, but not for the president who ran on platforms and policies that they don't follow through on. They don't follow through on because they're too old to truly believe in it. Aaron says his point is valid, though. I don't know what he's talking about. I don't know. One of y'all. Tama's okay. Tama's in Japan. What's going on, T? Thanks for tuning in. Nobody is a Raiders fan. I'm a Raiders fan. Kenneth says, so should we advocate for male transmissions to play?
What?
God damn, KB.
What is he saying?
So should we advocate for male transmissions to play in women's sports, transgendered individuals? Ideally, sports should not be mixed with politics, but there are way too many injustices against the very people who play the sports for those in power to try to silence them.
That was from Leah.
What's going on, Herbalist Kev? What's going on, man?
What's up, brother?
Tuning in
From Texas.
It's always been about,
he's in Texas?
It's always been about the money. All right. Any more on the topic, or y'all?
No, I mean that. I want to go with what Ken was saying on that. What was he saying? That we should we all advocate?
So basically, should we support transgendered individuals going into women's sports?
No,
absolutely.
That's what he was being funny when he said transitions.
Yeah.
And I think they've already banned that. They're on the verge of banning some of that, anyways.
Are they? I haven't kept.
Yeah. They either are on the verge or they have. I seen something about it not too long ago, like a couple months ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
Huh. Well, yeah. That's interesting. It's even interesting that that's a discussion, though.
Right.
It seemed like that's just
DNA don't lie.
Yeah.
Let me be quiet. All right. So next, y'all good on this topic? Or?
We good?
All right. So Doc, this is it right here, the main event. Let me pull it up
real quick. We talking about that on sports. I was listening to a podcast. They were talking about Serena.
Okay.
So you think Serena Williams could beat the best male tennis player?
Yep.
She said she couldn't.
She said she couldn't.
said she couldn't. She said it. She played against the 300. He was ranked 300
Okay.
and can barely. And
Well, then, if she said she couldn't because she just told 300 million cells in her body that she couldn't.
it's just. It's
Therefore,
just,
she's
I was finding it
defeated.
fascinating because we talk about how far, and it has come far in terms of
Right.
But when Serena Williams was saying that should tell us, like, man, still when it comes to sports, there is a difference.
Well, it's unfortunate that she would say that and not say that she could run with the best one, because Serena's a damn good tennis player.
She's a great tennis player.
I couldn't even return her serve.
No.
And she defeated herself with that statement.
Still a difference,
Because if you're a 12-year-old kid, if you're fit going into junior high and high school, and you're telling yourself, I'm never going to make it to college.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to put that quote on there, because like, yeah, Serena could be. That's what she said. So yeah. She could. There is still in tennis. But I think that was a fascinating discussion. Even I would say NBA. Do you think some of the WNBA women basketball players could play in the NBA?
No, totally different sport. It's a team sport. I mean, it's a physical sport.
How about baseball?
I really couldn't say, because there's nothing to compare it to, because women don't play fast pitch baseball.
Baseball, it'd be too. Other men have a hard time catching up to a 95, 98 mile fast. It's different.
Right.
Not that it's a bad or good thing. It's just different, and sometimes you just should be able to celebrate the differences.
Right. Absolutely.
Greatness doesn't always necessarily have to be one that's better than the other. It's just to be like, hey, it's different, and we celebrate it. Serena's great.
Absolutely. Stay in your lane.
Ooh. I thought it was funny because I was listening to it. I was like, man, I don't have to tell Doc this one. And I fell asleep, and I had it on bookmark. So I'm gonna have to put that up so you guys can hear it for yourself.
I mean,
I don't want to be sitting there and say,
I mean, it's athletics, and just like we discussed last week when we were talking about gender roles, men and women are built differently.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they don't compete in athletics at the same level. There's women athletics, there's men athletics. There's a lane for women, and there's a lane for men.
How about track and field? 100. How about the 100?
How about the 100?
Mm-hmm.
Why? What do you think?
Oh no! I think the
fastest world record is slower than the men's world record.
Why? Quite a bit. Quite a bit.
Yes. And why is that? Because there are gender differences. Because they run in different lanes. Because our bodies are built differently for different purposes.
But again, and I think that's the issue. But the issue is always, to me, is always that comparison, right? And it's again, it's nothing wrong with being great in your individual area. Like to me, that doesn't take anything away from it.
It doesn't.
For some reason, I just feel like it's always just like, well, yeah, that was it was actually, yeah, we're gonna have to have a talk about that. What y'all think? All right, let's get to the main. I'm sorry.
I was about to say, let me know when y'all done. All right, next topic. Feel My Flow presents An Uncoachable Woman is an Uncoachable Wife.
Okay.
Doc, goddamn.
This was yours, Doc. I'll let you
read the whole thing.
I know. See?
No, I'm looking. You already know I'm looking for the banner.
Okay.
All right. So as you guys can see here on the screen, gentlemen, save yourself the headache. If she can't take your direction, then she shouldn't be worthy of your protection and provision. You cannot lead or protect a hard-headed woman.
Facts.
Okay.
And that's right.
Okay.
And women look at that as a control issue. It's not a control issue. Find you a man that's worthy of leadership, that you look up to as a leader and a coach that has the intelligence to fill that position.
Mm-hmm.
And don't you want to learn and lead from your man? His job is to protect and provide. When I say provide, it's not only financially, but you're going to provide direction. You're going to provide stability. You're going to provide wisdom. You're going to protect her. But if that mouth is constantly going, and she's got that reckless mouth, and she's not listening, we've got 2 ears and one mouth for a reason, because you listen twice as much as you talk.
You do got some something to illustrate the point here of what you're making, straight from the group.
Okay.
You had some interactions with the usual suspects.
I did.
We have to see some of these interactions here, so we can get a more of a.
Oh, I can barely read this. You would be surprised. Okay, so this was an exchange between you and Penny,
right?
And obviously, she disagreed with everything that you had to say.
Always, as always.
Right.
I'm cool with that.
And so she said something.
Could you see her point, Doc?
I couldn't see her point.
She said something, and you said to her, you would be surprised if you change your outlook and attitude. And she was like, no, I'm Gucci. My attitude is just fine. And then Joyce goes in and pretty much just adds on to the shit. But I can't really see that. Let me go just take that off. But that's basically what it was. You was met with pushback. So your thoughts on
did any just vaguely looking at it, why do you think that is always that level of fierce toxic exchange when you say certain like things like that, which in your mind, right, I'm just paraphrasing, that you don't see it as an argumentative statement, but a statement talking to the men, because you said fellas.
I
was like, yeah, I noticed that too.
So but you're talking to the fellas then, but yet you had 50 some women.
So I think this one, I'm pretty sure this is a woman who's making this comment. I can this meme makes it seem like women are mindless and need a man to guide them.
Not at all. So is anyone that wants to learn that listens to someone mindless? No. You listen to what's being said. If you don't agree with it, call bullshit. If this continues, that's not a man worthy of your submission, worthy of even leading, because he's not making sound decisions. So what it comes down to is your choices in a man. I'm not saying this is all men are good leaders, are good providers, are stable, level-headed coaches that can make sound decisions. No. But this is what you have to find. And and a lot of times, most times, I'm trying to tell these ladies how to weed out the deadbeats and find a man that's worthy of leadership and submission and coaching. Because he's going to take your wants, your every want, desire, and dream and incorporate it into his plan and multiply it and see that you achieve it along with the plan of the family unit. It's not what he says, when he says, how he says. No. A good leader, a good coach, if he sees that you want to do something, if he's smart, he's going to listen to you. And he's going to support you. And he's going to coach you, and he's going to motivate you in a way to get done what you want to do. And if that's not the man in your life, you're with the wrong one.
Okay. I guess my point. I mean, I hear that, but the thing about it, I don't know why it's always an argumentative type of exchange, because honestly, we all got to listen to somebody. Usually you got to listen on if you got a job, you're listening to somebody, unless you're the CEO. And we don't.
CEO reports to the board.
But I'm just saying in terms of employees, but you got to listen to somebody.
Right. Everybody's got to listen to somebody. Even a leader has to listen. And I mean, I'm not saying women aren't intelligent and that they need leadership and that they need guidance, but A woman should want to be with a smart man that's gonna guide their relationship in a positive direction that's gonna be beneficial to both. And if you don't trust his leadership, then you don't need to be with him. If he's not looking out for the best interests of you two as a unit, moving, growing, and building, and has a goal out there and puts a plan in place to achieve that goal, yes, you're going to have input. You're going to put input, and you're both going to play your parts.
What happened?
Let's hear it.
What's going on?
Somebody said, hold on, fire up my mic. Jason Possible says, I remember when this show had like 80 plus people watching. Please let me know what episode that was, because damn, I wonder what happened, or I wonder what the problem is.
Well, we have people watching from from 4 different streams, so the numbers you see aren't totally accurate.
We take the constructive criticism,
What does Joyce's comment say?
I don't know.
When will you get?
Oh, let me read. Yeah, that's the one that I saw.
Okay. I want to hear it.
When will you get it into your head that we don't want your opinions, your advice, and suggestions on how to pick a man? Let us women determine the type of man we want. That is her.
Right, but I'm trying to give it
rebuttal
to you from a man's perspective.
She doesn't care.
Right. She doesn't care, and that's fine. But so many lives are affected. I mean, if she would step out of herself, a lot of women in this group, I would say, step out of yourself. Maybe it's me that they don't like. If you don't like me, that's fine. I'm cool with that.
Someone said they don't even trust their own judgment half the time.
Ooh.
They, as in women.
But I will say though, they're gonna listen. Like again, the boss said you gotta be
correct.
Work at 8 a.m.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Facebook user, if that's what you meant.
Right, but I mean, what's wrong with having a strong man in your life that's willing to lead? You're totally happy. You have everything you want. You have everything you need. You do whatever you want when you want to do it. But if a man is loving you properly, you're going to want to love him properly.
So this post was directed at the gentleman, right?
Yes.
You say fellas.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Again,
because I'm building on something here. Because she says, in addition to what she just said, she adds on, I have a good man without your advice. And so I just don't understand, again, why are you in this space? Why are you here? Why the fuck are you here?
Right. Well, all I'll say to you, listen to your man. Listen to him.
And my thing is,
and I'm sure you do.
But whatever type of relation you have, cool. I mean,
the post wasn't even directed at you.
If he's saying it to men, or just like when ladies in the thing says directed to ladies, when I understand that if it was directed to ladies, but it's a men's group or whatever. And then again, you're in a bad space where he's going to pop. This is maybe the topic of discussion almost all the time. Well, whatever. I just learned that sometimes so is it a personal thing? Because my thing is, if somebody says something, not everything you say I agree with, and we've had that back and forth right here,
right,
almost all the time.
But I don't know why people get so upset about, like, it's just like, are we that worried about? Because one dude said
it's crazy.
Doc said that, hey, what fellas should look for. Now, if they want to,
because you see the fellas are agreeing with the post,
especially when you say fellas,
with the conversation, from the comments that I'm reading right now.
And when you encounter,
I don't know about the actual thread.
And when you,
but when I say something, when somebody says fellas or says women, that means usually you're directing it at a certain group.
Exactly. When you run across, and I know everyone in this room and everyone in this group has run across that woman with that reckless mouth, who will not stop, who uses it as a defense mechanism not to listen, and talks over you, and
you should be able to just
wait, hold on. And let's be honest, we all know that one.
We've all ran into that woman.
Let's not sit here. That's true.
I simply avoid them now.
Right.
I know how to sniff them out, so I simply avoid them.
And that's simply what I'm telling the fellas.
And let's not leave it out, ladies. We know we got men the same way, or some men the same way too. Right?
But
so
nobody's saying that's for them to determine.
Yes.
Right.
That's for them to determine. And y'all can have a little huddle up and talk about that shit all day long.
Right. And I even give women tips on how to.
They don't. She just told you.
Reflect and deflect from attracting these bum ass men that they often talk about.
Them be,
anything about it is
them be free to choose.
It'd be different.
I'm trying to show.
It would be different if you was like you're in a relationship. So obviously you are giving some type of insight from the standpoint of your innocent.
Considering the source, they definitely don't care.
Well, I'm just saying. I listened to there was some women in the post. A woman, she said she was married, and I was listening to what she said. She had some good points about stuff. But whatever the case might be, it's nothing to get for. Like when in the group asked me, I could care less. Like it doesn't. I don't take it. Like women be like, oh, the men in the group are bums. Okay, you think, hey, whatever.
And
my bank account doesn't say that, but hey, whatever. But hey,
vice versa. And they don't know any of them, but just because you speak the truth, and I tell women signs and signals of how not to get involved when you're attracted to these bum dudes, what to look for in a quality man. What is a quality man? Well, people say, well, a woman's opinion, it differs what a quality man is from woman to woman. No, it doesn't. A quality man has morals, values, and principles. He listens. He takes care of his woman. He sees that her wants, needs, and desires are met. He sees that her dreams are multiplied, that her efforts, a good woman, yes. A good, strong, independent woman can do it by herself. But my question to these strong, independent Black women, I give you all the props, but do you have the ability to be interdependent? Because I always say, you're going to have a successful relationship, fellas, when you find a woman that doesn't need to be taken care of, and then take care of her.
What if you're happy being single? There's some people that are just happy being single.
That lasts. That runs out. That runs its cycle.
Let me get these comments.
Do y'all agree with that?
Kenneth says some ladies in this group are obviously in this group to be a cancer. They need constant immature kid level disagreements because it's entertaining for their lives. They will constantly and consistently argue with Doc just because it's him. We already saw that. And then, yes, I meant women, Myron. That nigga ain't good. He's being held hostage. I think that's to you, Doc.
Who said that?
I don't know. And then
they're getting ugly.
This comment says, I think that women have a problem with posts like these because it's usually single men trying to tell men how to be an alpha male and trying to tell women how they should be. I don't see posts like this in groups of married people. Well, this isn't a married people group, number one. I personally just keep scrolling.
I'm not telling people how they should be. I'm telling you people what you should look for. Signs and signals of human behavior.
Hold on, let's look at that. Let's look at that. First, they said it's usually a single man. Well, you're not single, so that kind of disputes that already.
That already defeats that because I don't be posting nothing in that group at all.
I'm not trying to tell. I can care less. Like man, do you?
Right.
My whole look on life is, hey, do what makes you happy.
Right.
You will never hear me telling you what you should do. I don't care.
If you want to be single, be single.
Man, hey, enjoy your life.
No, it's not a dumbass question. I'm gonna keep asking you that because you always in here popping off on some dumb shit. Like, who is this, Joyce? Because it says because I can be, that's why I'm here. That's a dumbass question, right? No, it's not. You're consistently, like Kenneth was just saying, you're just in here to just bitch and moan about the same thing that we address every time you come in here with the bullshit. You're in a man's group where this type of these conversations are going to be cultivated. If you don't like it, get the fuck out of Dodge.
Keep scrolling. But yeah.
I don't tell the way.
2 ears, 1 mouth.
I could care less. I don't. So
I know you don't.
Yeah, I could care less. It don't bother me.
If this is gonna be the constant, energy that you bringing into the group, why the fuck are you here?
Right. It's entertainment.
Yeah. It is what it is, man. I'm not gonna raise my blood pressure.
Right. Me neither. Yeah.
That's just weirdo type shit.
Right.
Like you can go make a whole group or be on your personal page with the niggas ain't shit rhetoric. Like, damn.
Right.
It's real simple. Facebook user says one of the great things about being a great leader is learning the basics on following. Men and women can be both leaders and followers. It's a respect factor. I agree with that. Men want to be smart, women as well as understanding women, right? Well, okay, men want to be smart with women. Men want to be smart, women as well as understanding women, right? Both sides should have a moment to step into a leadership role, in my opinion.
Absolutely.
Right. We kind of touched on that last episode.
Strengths and greater strengths. Who has the greater strengths in that area?
But real quickly, because I and one of my homegirls actually told me this, and made a lot of sense. I used to hang out with her, but when I went to a salon with all women, I would sit there, and they would talk about men all the time.
Right.
I didn't get mad and be
right.
My thing is, I respected their space.
Right.
That was their space.
Right.
Now we could have discussion and interaction, but it was always respectful. But yeah, a lot of times they were talking a lot of shit about men.
Right. And if
men ain't shit.
You sit there and listen and you process it and you don't clap back and get defensive, it gives you a lot of insight on the female thought
and that's
process.
what I was getting at, is that the insight that was shared after they understood that I'm a visitor in your space. That's your safe space. I'm here as a visitor. And I'm going to hear and listen to what you're saying, because this is just a salon. This is not a barbershop. Right. Just like I would hope that if a woman comes to my barbershop, yes, we're going to be respectful. I'm just saying, yes, we're going to be respectful, but there are certain conversations as men we should be able to have. That's what it is.
Right.
And I don't understand why it's always this back and forth about it's stupid.
Like, damn.
And I'm almost like, and going if you don't like it, you can scroll down, but why don't you really try to dig and have a conversation and interaction and find out what somebody's really trying to say?
They don't want to do that, B. We've been over this 1,000 times. They do not want to have the conversation.
So anyways.
Because we have to understand.
Even when you have somebody like Doc or Kenneth or whoever that, I've seen cats in there, dudes that genuinely try to have a conversation with some of these chicks, and they just combative as fuck. Just want to be just with the back and forth. It's
right.
Just like, what?
Put the defense shield down.
Because if I was in a group, like you were saying, B, if I was in a group that was mainly focused on women and I was just the guest in their space, if they were saying a lot of shit that I just wasn't in agreement with or just didn't like, what am I sticking around for? I don't even want to see this on my news feed.
Or whatever the case.
Right.
Maybe. My point is that, man.
I mean, like the comment.
Always be so combative about stuff that's just like, man.
Like the disagreement from Penny, I'll say. And I said, yes, you'd be surprised if you would change your outlook and attitude. And when I say that, what I mean is, step outside yourself, stop thinking defensively on what you think, and look from an outside perspective on if you were a third person and you took this advice and applied it to your life. Look at it differently. Take that bitterness from your past or whoever hurt you or whoever stung you or dragged you through the mud and put that to the side.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, that or the blanket statements or, it's just like, hey, what...
That joint that you had got. Well,
I was like, hey.
The joint that you had sounded off about, yeah.
I'm just like.
That shit was crazy, too.
There's just a certain level of, I don't know, man.
One
it's
man thinks
always,
some way, now automatically all of us
all
think
of them
this
are.
way.
They're this and they're that. It's just like,
the fuck?
Don't some of y'all got sons? Like, really,
And a lot of this mistreatment that
my mom didn't raise a bum.
My mom definitely didn't raise no heathen.
Okay.
Bum, right?
So y'all, some of y'all talk real reckless. Like, come on, man.
Because I know the three of us in this room are men of integrity, and we're pretty much anomalies as far as when it comes to good men, and we can all say that we are good men.
No, but I'll say 40% of the time for me.
Oh, 40% of the time? Okay, well, ladies like the bad boys too.
If you get that whiskey, man.
Yeah, because you still got a full glass too? I thought you was done.
Yeah, well, I'm just sipping. This is my Tuesday night cocktail.
It's just I guess the overall
I don't know.
Overall, I just think that, and I'm gonna always say,
I'm
life
very
is just
open
too
to
short.
opinions of men with integrity, character, and intelligence. It don't seem like you're open to men in this group because it sounds like you don't think men in this group are of
Who said that?
ones that I'm just assuming that this is Joyce's comment. Don't seem like you think that you're in a group with men who dwell in integrity, character, and intelligence.
And I'm gonna say
Right.
And if
this,
that's the case, again, why?
Right.
or put a halt to blanket statements, or say if there's some or men I came across, or just like women I've came across. The blanket statements is just to me corny. But hey, whatever. And I say that for men or women. Yeah, but you know,
Right, because we've addressed men in here, we've kicked men out of the group, we've had to personally get at men for I know I have anyways. So I mean like
right.
everybody, it's equal on all sides.
Right.
You know,
you're gonna get the heat. It don't matter who you. I mean, it doesn't matter. But I mean,
but when it comes to the topics of discussions, I mean, again, this is it's sex, dating, and relationships from the perspective of men.
Right.
That's been constantly echoed and said, and it's not going to change.
Women should take insight and learn more about a man's thought process.
If they want to.
They want to. That's what they should, and they'll learn more about men in general, because women and men think differently. Men think logically. Women think emotionally. They make decisions more or less based on emotions. Men are more logical, which is why we look at ourselves as problem solvers. But then also when your woman comes to you with a problem, you have to be able to decipher, does she want you to listen or does she want you to solve her problem?
And I'm going to go even another step, is that from the other side of it, having certain discussions helps people that are either single or looking to get into relationships, or are trying to manage a relationship that possibly is, from other men who's gone through the same thing, that are trying to discuss and have, discussion, even with the ladies in there. Hey, as a man, what can I do? Or certain things.
Right.
And to always have a discourse that it's always got to be a negative connotation for everything. I'm just like,
it's just like,
but I'm not going to say, because I'm not going to say blanket state for everybody, because
they're not, we know who we're talking about at this point. We don't need to put foot around. We have conversations about literally everything. We've had a whole episode where we're talking about holding men, black men specifically, accountable for their low tier actions. The powerful niggatry that dwells within said an archetype of black men. We've had that conversation like plenty of times. We just had a crazy intense episode about the whole situation with the alleged sexual allegations or whatever with old dude or whatever.
Right.
And women have been asking us to have these conversations, and when we do, you still get shitted on.
Right.
It's just like, I don't understand.
Right. And then when I talk about failed relationships and I ask people to look back, and people are often questioning themselves, why did this relationship fail? What happened? We were in love, or I loved him, or something like that. But love is overrated. Love is a vulnerable emotion. So when you look back at that, ask yourself, did you have a strong foundation? And I've said this several times on this. Did you have a strong foundation to build that relationship or marriage on? That strong foundation is built of the 4 cornerstones, and I've said it so many times. Yeah. Friendship, respect, effective communication, and trust. Those are the 4 cornerstones of any relationship. And if you don't start with those 4 cornerstones, holding your foundation solid, you're setting yourself up for failure. It's a recipe for disaster if you don't have all 4.
You said about the last one, what she teaches what?
Oh, that was somebody. I don't know who said this, but they're talking about the usual suspects, the ladies that be on a,
Yeah, I
that's all that was. Doc, I loved when you said, men, find you an independent woman that doesn't need taken care of and take care of them. 100.
There you go.
Yeah,
there you go. And I believe a lot of men agree with that. Mm-hmm. So I don't see what the issue is, but hey, I don't know, man. So yeah. So it's whatever. People, and I'm learning this. People like to live in their Well, I see their misery, and hey, more power to you. That's why you gonna live. But
Right.
That's cool
know,
and all, but like,
I'm not gonna
do
sit
that
here.
over there, because bringing that energy bleeds on over into other spaces and shit. That
Right.
prevents
Yeah.
other people from wanting to even connect or chime in and
Right.
Yeah,
all that
just
good
think
stuff.
about
And I'm
and think
never
about
going to clap back. I'm never going to get into a personal back and forth with you, but I'm just going to try to give you further insight or try to get you to view it from an alternate perspective. I'm not saying what you should say, or if you disagree with me, that's fine. If you disagree with me, that doesn't bother me at all.
You handle everything they throw at you. You
Yeah.
handle that.
I'm not going to clap
top
back.
tier professionalism.
Yeah,
Way
you're not going to get insult from me or whatever. You can say what you want.
Nobody gonna sit here and argue back and forth, and I'm not gonna be like, oh, I'm not trying to kick you out. I don't give a fuck.
So
Hey,
if that's what you're looking
for
from me,
I'm
you're
not
not
that's
going to get
B.
it.
Me,
I'm not
I
doing
can
that.
give a fuck.
Right.
Get the fuck on.
I read these comments. Me and my lady sit back and laugh at them a lot of time.
I just think it's a certain level as man. Hey man, you let folks do whatever. Hey.
Right. The only reason why because again, it's just it's a way to avoid the back. Well, not the backdraft. It's a way to just avoid the bullshit.
Right.
There's other people in here that do even as controversial as you can be, and others in the group, other men in the group, women too. You have people that are still able to just take it in stride.
Right.
It's and they keep it pushing. They don't get all personal with it and type out 85 slide PowerPoint presentation,
right?
A fucking explanation as to why they don't like what they just saw. It's just like,
right.
No one really gives a fuck. Like, you just all that for what? Because all you're gonna do is go, okay, well, that's your perspective,
right?
Or that's just how you perceived it.
Absolutely.
But I do know,
and don't think that you know me or you know how I live or what I do, because you know nothing about me by some of the perspectives that I share. I put only out there what I want people to know, and once you know me in person, it's not different or adversary to what I'm saying, because I live by what I say, but you just interpret it differently.
Right.
But instead of again always having a negative, they have questions, ask you, instead of always coming with just this. Man,
you gotta admit when you're putting effort into expanding, because we've had this conversation off, just off air, where we're sex, dating, and relationships, but we want to have more of an expansive, topic of discussions.
Right.
That's why we had that intense episode a couple of weeks ago, the one that you wasn't here for.
Okay.
That was the first time we ever did something like that.
Right.
But it was important and it needed to be done. And even in that, you still had folks in the group just bitch whining.
Right.
Like, damn, can you appreciate the effort that we're, I guess, putting forth?
Right.
Yeah, it was tough because we had to I had to reach out to people that that are somewhat involved with that, and those are hard conversations to have.
Right.
Super
hard. I had
to especially on a public
reach out
platform.
to both parties that were kind of
folks was reaching out to me, and and to those who did, I appreciate y'all for doing that, because that was hard, but it was necessary. We needed to do it. So, but everything else though, like,
they're still going back.
So, ladies, when it comes down to being coachable, listen. How many times has your man said, listen? Don't cut him off.
We appreciate you, Kenneth. Thanks, bro.
Don't cut him off when he's speaking. Listen to what he has to say. If it makes sense to you, agree with it. If it doesn't, call bullshit and tell him why. But hear him out.
Yeah. Everybody's giving y'all flowers.
Oh,
appreciate y'all.
That's all this is. We appreciate everybody who does tune in and, chew up the meat, spit out the bones type situation.
Right. Men are thinkers. Men instinctually are thinkers and are planners. So if your man isn't thinking and planning accordingly, you drop a bug in his ear and say you need to incorporate this into that plan.
And that's per Doc's opinion, because there's men out there that don't think or plan. They don't do shit. So
they think and they plan, but their plan is just fucked up.
Or they just simply don't.
Right.
And
that's what I said. Listen to him. If it's bullshit, call bullshit.
Right.
And is this a man that you want to go through life with? You have to make that decision at that point.
Nobody forcing you to make that decision.
You picked him.
Yeah.
Right.
But nobody's, and that's another thing. Nobody forced you to. Walk away.
You picked him.
I would never blame.
I
would never blame a woman.
This is Dick. You dickmatized, but he's dumb as a box of rocks. Well, act accordingly.
No, I'll never blame the woman. Like, all women now because of this one. You're like, come on, man. Like,
it's all y'all's fault.
Yeah, it's only you guys. Like, who does that?
Like,
constantly, at our age, like
clown world, bro.
Right.
Clown world.
That's crazy.
Because I've heard women say, "I can't communicate with him. I don't trust him. I don't think we're not friends. We don't talk anymore."
But he makes you come 3 times.
But I love him.
I don't know. Listen,
what is it that you love?
You actually stand and have those conversations? I just look at them and keep it pushing because it's just like you done already laid out why you need to do what you should be doing.
Right. I have had,
as far as making your next move your best move, but I know you ain't about to do that, so I'm gonna go ahead and let you have it.
Because you're making life decisions on your emotion because you're dickmatized by a bum.
I look at it like this: if you ain't bringing me peace, or you're not part of peace, I'm not.
Man,
I'm not wasting no time,
exactly.
no energy.
1,000% on that.
Hey,
1,000% on that.
And that's another thing. A lot of men don't require much. If you're not breathing peace into my spirit,
no.
If your energy is
janky stuff,
and you're not breathing peace, most quality men want peace.
Now that's it.
That's pretty much it.
I want peace for both of us. I want the relationship to just be at peace. Like,
exactly.
I don't understand why anybody want to operate
and
otherwise.
Cook a steak. That's it.
I guess that's a cherry on top.
All right, y'all.
Good topic. Good topic.
All right.
Shop
culture.
Yeah. Any last words? Anything that they should?
He said the 80 people. I don't remember 80 people, but hey, thank you for that.
80 people. What?
Like, we were at 80
yeah,
people.
that's what I was like. When did we have?
Okay, bro.
Damn.
Oh my goodness.
No, but we appreciate.
That's one of those type of exaggerations about everything.
We appreciate the constructive criticism, I guess.
That's the type that be exaggerated about everything.
Right. I had like 3 bit. No. I have one.
Exactly.
I just want to reiterate at the end, men and women, you got 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. Listen twice as much as you talk. Give the peace that you expect. Love the way you want to be loved.
Yeah, man. Protect your peace at all costs.
At all costs.
Men and women.
Peace is priceless.
Gosh, yes, please.
Come on.
Hold on.
It was all a dream.
Y'all got to be like the media. Add some damn drama.
Man. But you know what? That's very true. Because even interviews, like people are always, it's like an argument of there's never really a flow to an interview nowadays. It's always got to be like combative.
Right.
And so you lose the process of really hearing both sides of it to really make a informed decision, which it should be. And so when I even I'll be honest, even when I put that up about Fox News, somebody's like, "Oh, you look at Fox?" Like, no, that's just information. What I do personally shouldn't matter. It should be. That's what happened, and I'm putting it up there.
Right.
For you to see, or to know about. But hey, that's where we're at. So
right. It's just like what you mentioned earlier. When you get in a disagreement, when emotions are high and anger is interjected and insults start flying, you lose the whole basis of what the disagreement was about.
Yeah.
Why can't you just have a disagreement? We disagree. Okay, let's agree to disagree. Now let's have a discussion about this as adults.
If there was even a disagreement at all.
Right.
Yeah, I used to be.
We're not going to shout insults at each other and want to belittle.
Right.
And we're not here to win. We're trying to get understanding here.
Yeah. I mean, I used to try to be right and try to win. I mean, but what do you really win? At the end of you don't win anything.
Exactly.
And if you win, do you want to be your partner
at the cost?
to lose?
But it's at a cost. So what are you? What's the cost?
Right.
So when you weigh it, peace is. That's the mainstay.
I get to go to bed.
You when you won, but
comfortable at not knowing that I told this nigga off.
Yeah.
I told all them niggas off.
Right.
And as a
Sleep
man,
peacefully
you
tonight.
You know, she's curled up in the corner of the bed. You can't mad when you touch her. You know, who wants to look like?
Right. Yeah.
God, man.
She's so mad she starts farting on you.
And then you gravitate
Wow, that was okay.
to someone that they see as lesser that brings you peace.
I know that. I was just thinking that.
You freestyling.
I freestyle that one.
Peace is priceless.
All right, then, y'all.
She farted on me.
We appreciate.
That's real love when she farts on you.
What the hell is that? No real life. You better not.
What's she supposed to do? Get up out of bed?
Yeah, absolutely.
What if she sleep?
You better wake up. No, you got to wake up on that. That's
she
just
farts on you.
No, don't do that, man.
Oh, man,
don't do that.
That's
Don't do that. Don't do that. That's
Take
a no.
it as love.
No, because I ain't gonna do that to her. Don't do that to me.
Oh, you know if you sleep.
Man, I know. I know
No,
every.
you
No,
don't.
I do know. Man, I'm not doing that. Mm-mm.
You're human. It's a human bodily function. If
But
you sleep,
but Jock, you get up and you go in another.
No, you don't.
No, you don't sit there. And
You're
just fart on
sleeping
each
good. You had a good meal and a couple of drinks.
Man,
you get into bed.
Nah,
she
bro.
cuddles you.
No.
If you got gas, it's coming out one end or the other.
Man, you need to go in
Natural
room.
human bodily function.
No, don't. No.
The fact that B thinks that she gonna actually do that.
I'm just saying, for me, like,
It's unrealistic.
Really, it is.
It's worked for as many years I've been here. It's worked. So, hey, there's certain things.
B calling her an Uber. You got to go home.
So you ain't never farted in bed.
Why are we going to ask somebody about farting in bed?
You have. It's a natural human function.
B, I know you're not getting all up in arms. You the one bought all this. You started this shit.
Bro,
so you're going to put her out if she farts in the middle of her sleep?
Nah, man. Listen,
if you give her that good and put her out, and she turns over and blows one on you, you're going to put her out?
Nah, bro.
Okay, thank you.
Wait. I'm not even thinking to go. No, I don't. Stop. Mm-mm.
This is hysterical. What a way to end the show.
That's my kryptonite, damn it.
Damn, be okay. Shopkulture, Tuesday nights, 8 p.m. We like to have a discussion. I don't know what to say.
I don't know.
Are you really in thought?
I was really thinking about that.
I don't think we got to worry
about that. I started sweating.
B ain't getting married.
I started sweating in my head. I'm like, ooh, wait.
Wait, what are you sweating for?
Because I'm just thinking about that. Like, I never, no. I've been blessed.
You get married, you're going to have separate bedrooms. Huh?
No, I'm not.
I love Lucy. You got your bed. She got her bed.
I was in a relationship for 8 years. I never heard
well,
she never did that.
You
she
got
never
farted
did
on.
We had that discussion initially. I'm like, listen, we ain't. There's certain things we cool that they're. Hey, that's one of them. No,
it's in the contract.
So I never had to worry about it. I just never worried about it.
Oh, you got farted on. Trust
well, then I was dead asleep like
for sure. Yeah, plenty of time.
Yeah. I didn't never smelled nothing. So hey,
man. All right. We out.
Man, some people can control their
love, peace, people. Appreciate you.
Wait, what was you gonna say?
I was because somebody said everyone farts at night.
They said there's an app you can download.
What is it?
I don't know what it's called.
What's the name of the app?
Wait, one last comment. You must not have been comfortable with anyone. I'm not getting a stomach ache trying to hold my.
Well, I'm gonna tell you what. Hey, maybe I need to live a single life because
you definitely messing your insides up doing that.
No, wait, hold on here.
Are you not?
Hold on. First of all, having somebody fart all on you and fart, I'm not.
We're not like intentionally doing it.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. Intentionally do. Now,
but if y'all were just sitting down watching TV and she just let one go,
okay. You can't get up. I don't understand it.
If she sleep,
Barry's soul
if she's sleeping, y'all spooning, and she lets one go, she sleep. What you gonna do?
I don't know. I'm just saying you can make that. You can make it quiet or something. I just don't want to hear it. I don't think I said anything wrong with that.
Natural human bodily function.
Okay, everybody each is their own about certain things. I don't see the issue.
So that's your deal breaker, huh? You're living in a fantasy world.
Man, you call it fantasy. I just call it respecting each other. You saying fantasy. I'm saying respecting one another when it comes to certain things.
Oh my God.
actually think it takes a relationship to a whole nother level of closeness when you fart in front of each other.
The app is called.
wait, hold on here.
So
Time
if she's in the bathroom brushing her teeth, you get up in the morning and go pee in the same bathroom, you're going to hold your fart? Because you fart when you pee the first thing in the morning. You're going to hold it?
No, wait, when you're older. Oh, wait, hold on. What the hell? Wait, John, we got to have a conversation. Is that what I got to look forward to?
If she brushing her teeth, you ain't gonna go in the bathroom and pee.
I'm
or
just
you
saying.
Gonna go to the other bathroom.
Hold on.
There's
another bathroom. I'll go to
Yes.
Yeah.
You got two. Why do I need to?
What if the bathroom's big enough? It's big enough. You got a water closet.
No, that's why you got two separate bathrooms. Or you wait and let her go to the bathroom. I wait. Like, what's the hurry that we got to be in the bathroom at the same time?
Yeah,
that's
get that.
That's
because if you got
area.
a master bathroom and you get up, what's the first thing you got to do? Piss, scratch, and fart. So you going to the closest bathroom.
Wait for the other person to get done with their business.
Yeah, I don't get,
y'all don't got to be in there together.
Yeah.
What's wrong with being in there?
I had a high school. Back in high school, I remember
for certain things you don't be in there together.
High school, I remember we were at some place and I was in the bathroom. She come chilling. I'm like, well, hold on here. Like, no, like, what are you doing? Like, I'm old school. My mom. Listen, I never heard my mom. So no, you're not. That's personal. God. You step outside the bathroom and wait to let me.
Are you at home or you're in a public bathroom?
No, it was at a
Well, I'm talking about at home.
Well, no, it was. I think it was at a hotel or something. But the point being was, I just think. And everybody each is their own. That's what I said. But there's certain things that, I just was raised.
So if she in the shower and you got to pee, you're not going to just go in there and pee it? Say if you're in a hotel?
I can wait. I can hold my pee. I just don't understand.
That's not healthy. That's not healthy. Don't hold your pee. I'm healthy though now. But you'll pay for that later. Trust me. Don't hold your pee.
Well, okay.
Prostate.
Prostate exam.
Well, I'm not. Knock on wood. Yeah, I have my. Yeah, I'm good on that.
Don't hold it, bro.
Yeah. So. I don't know where that. Yeah, guys. Sorry.
No,
I got it on camera.
We went off on one.
Yeah, we did.
We'll see y'all next week with some more engaging, controversial topics. You may like it, you may not like it. We don't give a fuck.
But look at it from a different perspective.
Farting is cool. Farting, all right. Like, woo.
It may not apply to you, but it applies.
Yes, man. Yeah. Don't take stuff so seriously.
Right. It's helping someone.
Love. Let's love one another. Kumbaya.
Respect comes before love, though.
Y'all like that song, Kumbaya?
Yeah, Kumbaya. Yeah, it's all about love. But respect.
What does that mean? What does kumbaya mean?
Should we Google it?
Yeah.
Yo, what
but everybody thinks love is so superior and premier, but men take respect over love any day because respect comes first. Because if you didn't respect me, we're never going to get to the point of love.
I'm on the peace train.
Yeah. Respect and peace. I mean, they run hand in hand.
I'm on the peace train, y'all.
Yeah.
Talk to me.
There you go.
Shopkulture.
I'm with you on that.
Breathe life and peace into his spirit.
Yeah.
Oh
man, I put a link up, y'all. Check out my homegirl, Joy. She has a mobile bookstore.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
And make sure
repost that.
Yeah, I'm gonna repost that, man. Make sure to support her. I think that's dope. She focuses on African American books and about the culture and about the history. Man, we're always talking about growth and being for the community.
That's tap in with the community.
There's something.
Good start.
And let's help support her in really going after it because she's doing it. She got this nice bus. Man, I'm happy for her. That's just dope. So man, kudos to her on that. And look her up. Joyce Sparks is on there. So look her up. She's in the group.
We need much more of that in our community.
Yeah.
I give props to that.
Yeah.
And I just want to give a shout out for the Royal Esquire Club on the 29th. There's going to be a Western themed party there. There's going to be some original members from the original Buffalo Soldiers.
Yeah.
So put on your shit kickers and your cowboy hats.
I will not be doing that, but yes, I'll be.
I'll be there gussied up in my best dungarees. Come out and have a good time, y'all.
Yeah. Shopkulture.
All right. That is game. We out.